Okay, so we've been a little bit of time and we're ready to reassemble this transmission. So we're starting with the front cover here. We have this front cover cleaned up, and now we're cleaning up the first piston here and going to install the O-rings on it. So we've got it cleaned up here, and we're going to install the O-rings on it. These O-rings come in the kit, so there's just one smaller than the other. Obviously the small one goes on the inside. Then we're taking it over and we're going to put it in the front cover, and we have to find the 3 springs that go in here, and so they will go in there underneath the piston here. We're putting the 3 springs in these little holes. Then it's ready for the piston. Piston goes down this way. We've got the O-rings on it, and now we're going to lube them. Okay, we'll install a piston in there. Work it back and forth just a little wee bit. It's good. Cleaning up the high clutch pack, and this is the piston out of it. So now we're going to put the new seals on the piston and clean it up. Okay, so we're installing the seal on the high clutch piston. That's the outer seal. Then the inner seal has the lip and the inside, and it's got to be up towards the oil because we got the piston upside down here. So that is the way that seal is going to go in there. Okay, so we're ready to install that. So this is the input shaft that we had to modify with lathing it down to accept the new retainer. The old retainer was this one that had little screws holding it in place, and this is what was destroyed in this shaft here. The cap screws went through these holes, and then there was little screws in there holding this retainer that holds the piston bevel washer down. Now we have replaced it. We bought this from the salvage, which is a Massey part number, and now we're holding it down with this retaining plate and these cap screws. So we have to assemble this at the same time because this bevel washer holds the piston down. So we're gonna just guard these pieces because they're old. Then we're going to assemble the piston into this here drum. This requires special tools, and so we got a couple of tools that we borrowed from our local Massey dealer, and they are supports so that we can install the seal without damaging them. So we're gonna just wipe these off here and lubricate them real good. Okay, so we're ready to install this again. So we're gonna lube this. Over top of the thing so the excess can run down into that. So this here is the tool that holds that piston in place. Okay, we're installing the. I'm gonna have to hold something. I'm not done anything with this thing. This hasn't been done. That feels better, doesn't it? So when the piston is fully seated in there, then you can take the tools out of, they're a perfect fit in there. So you have to take them out gently, and then we can put those aside. And then we can put the bevel washer. This is the bevel washer, and it's the lip up so that we put it in like this, and then we install the, okay, we're Loctiting between this input shaft and the gear here. So we put that around there, and now we're going to install the input shaft into there, lining up the holes. Then we're going to put a little bit of Loctite on each one of the bolts as we install them. So when we machined this assembly, we machined it so we had zero clearance on this bevel washer for the return of the piston. We assembled the clutch pack without the return springs, and what we're doing here is getting a measurement of the clutch travel without the return springs in there, and we're looking for between 70 and 95 thousandths. We just tried 85, and 85 seemed to be, we couldn't get it in, so it looks like it's under 85. So we're going to try the 70 and see if it will go in.
This would be 77.
Right in there. Down.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so it's about 80, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so it looks good. So with that in mind, then we're going to, if that's not correct, you're supposed to replace the snap ring with a thinner or thicker one. But this one looks good, so now we're going to remove the snap ring and reassemble the clutch with the springs. Installing these, we put the thick flat disc in there. Then we're going to put a spring, a friction disc with a return spring on the outside of it. Then a steel plate. Actually, I wouldn't mind just squirting a little bit of oil on top of this when it falls down. Another friction plate. And another return spring. A little more oil. A little more oil. Another friction plate. Another return spring. Actually, I want this turned. And then the final plate and snap ring. And your big tool there again. Okay, and that is the assembly of the high clutch plaque. Okay, so we're installing the center to the front cover, and we're putting the new oil seal that come in the kit, and we're putting Loctite on it like it says to do. This is a hydraulic grade Loctite. We've got a couple of washers here that were just the right size. And then we're going to bottom out. The seal, and we'll check and make sure that it's right down to the front, and it's not there yet, is it? Not quite. So we're going to have another go at it and get a little more aggressive, and I think it felt better that time. Okay, and then the next is we're going to install a bearing. And when you're installing a Torrington bearing, there's a round side and a flat side, and you always install with the part number on the flat side is what you drive on. You never drive on the round side. So we're going to put the bearing in this way. So we're down about 60 thousandths there with the needle bearing. So that makes it ready to install it. Assembling the thrust bearing now, so we're putting some oil in here, and we're putting one flat thrust washer first, and then we're going to put the Torrington, the thrust bearing in there, and then another thrust washer. Then we're going to put an O-ring on the outside here, and it was loose on the input shaft, so we're going to put it into the housing first. Then we're going to take the shaft here, and we've got the split seals here, and so we're going to put them in the retaining places here, and you got to make sure that they are that's not the right place. So they got to fit in their little grooves there. And again, we're going to tip it up, and we're going to put a fair bit of oil on these. And then we're going to install it. Sure, the Torrington bearings are lined perfectly, so this fits on square, so it'll go right down. And so we're Loctiting these studs, and the two that hold the brake discs go. This is the bottom over here, and it's up very hard in case we haven't got everything in place. So we're just taking the play out. Yeah, it's going. Take the play out of this one. We want to torque these down to 38 foot-pounds, and we're running the impact, and then we'll get the torque wrench and torque them to 38 to 45. Okay, so we're replacing this bushing in the sun gear, not because it was maybe all that bad, but we're replacing it because it subs up to a bushing with a flange on it. So we're going to knock out that bushing right now, and then we'll replace it with this here one. Okay, we'll bottom that out on that sun gear. It's not quite there yet, but maybe it is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, and then we're going to take that over and put it on the other sun gear. And we should probably lubricate those a little bit. These are timed assembly, and so you got to see the little timing mark, center punch or punch mark there on the gears. It has to be straight out from the center. So we got to have those all straight out. And then we're going to install the planetaries in there. And if they're lined up correctly, they will fall together fairly easy. Just like that. Okay, then we're going to take this whole assembly and we're going to put it into here. We have to align these up, making sure that we'll put a little bit of oil. There's a needle bearing here where this rides, so we'll put a little bit of lube on that and in. I know these notches here have to go in the dead ones, eh? Okay, so we had to work this into the 3 splines until this is flush here, and we were able to feel that it dropped in to the third disc in there. You have to get it aligned with the splines down in there, and it has to fall in freely. When it's in, this will be just below the ring gear here. Okay, so this is the low piston now that we're working on, and we're going to install the O-rings on in the grooves here. Obviously, the biggest one goes on the outside. And the little one goes on the inside here. I'm just going to take a screwdriver and run around those O-rings to make sure that they're don't have a roll in them. Just make sure they're okay. And we're putting that low piston into the support. That looked good, didn't it? Okay. Then we're going to take the whole assembly and we're going to put it onto the front cover. And we've got to align the oil port here with the, and then the holes are going to line up there. See, that went right down. Okay, now we're supposed to put how many? They're the two with the threaded holes, and those hold the assembly together until you put the whole front cover in, and then they all hold it together. Okay, we're installing the thin spacers in the right place, and that you got to put them between the two threaded holes. You'll see that one has a hole in it for a dowel, and it matches up to a hole there for the dowel, and then you want them a third going around. So those are the thin spacers. We'll put a dowel in that one there. Round spacers, and these other round spacers sit over the threaded holes. And that's what gives us the clearance for that clutch disc. Okay, so this is the steel plate that the clutch works against, and it goes down in. You have to align it to go in past the spacers and sit down in the bottom. So that's where that sits. Now we're ready for the clutch plate. So we've got this, the pistons sitting here, and then we got to put a backing plate in, and you can see that this was up against it before, so we're actually putting that back in that same position. We have to align these here up in with the spacers. Then we're going to put the disc in place, and then the intermediate spacer goes in, and we line it up on this little dowel here. This little dowel is smaller than all the rest, and so that's the one we're going to use for aligning. Then we're going to put the cap screws in. There's 6 cap screws that go in here, Allen-headed cap screws, and we're going to tighten those up to 20 foot-pounds. Okay, so there's 9 springs that go over top of the big dowels. And those are what returns the pistons. Then we're going to put the other disc in place over top of the spline, and then the plate that goes on here, and it has, we need the long spacers. The one has the dowel in, and the other two are kind of, they talk about at the 4 and 8 o'clock positions. And then this plate here has to match those here. So now we're going to put the main plate in that returns the piston. So we line it up with those spacers. Then we put the 2 Belleville washers, they go together, and we place them on top like that. So we install the reverse gear here in the, on the spline, and making sure that there is a thrust bearing here. Okay, we're replacing this seal. It comes in the same kit, so we're putting the square seal over top down nice and square. Okay, so we lubed up this little needle bearing, which is the thrust bearing, and then we have the cover to install, and it again aligns on this little dowel here. So that little dowel is specific.
I can't see that.
Bolts to hold the cover on, and so there's 6 bolts go in. There's a special one that goes in here. This is a short one that goes in the shift linkage here.